So for the first one, there are at least 14 books on the list. So what variable do you guys want to use for books? X, sure. So at least 14. Does that mean that there could be more than 14 or less than 14? There could be more, and then could it be equal to 14?
Yes.
Yeah, so X is greater than or equal to 14. Okay, there are at most 5 apples in the fridge. So does that mean more or less?
Less.
Less, so do you guys want to use X again?
Yep.
Yeah. So less than 5, or could it be equal to 5?
Yes.
Okay, yep.
I use one.
Use what? Yeah, whatever variable you want. Yeah, be X, A, B, Y, doesn't matter. All right, the gravitational potential energy of an object is given by the formula P equals mgh. Which equation is correctly solved for the height h? So if I have P equals mgh, what operation is happening between all of these? Multiplication. So if I want to get h by itself, what would I do? Yep, divide by mg. So which one would be the correct answer?
C.
C, yeah. All right, any questions on that? Cool, okay. So your objective for today is students will be able to write equations from phrases. Nice and short. Bless you. Bless you. Gavin, you could probably do both today. Because there'll be like a lot of random downtime. Yeah, so like do the notes and then like on the in-betweens go to the test. All right, so right here you guys just have like a bank of like different words to kind of watch out for. So if there's a word and you're not sure what operation it's talking about, you can kind of reference this. Feel free to add to it as well, and then we're going to add some stuff in the margins for like the order of things, okay? So for problem 1, this one is going to deal with the word than. So let me first start by just saying if I say 3 less than 5, what's 3 less than 5? Yep, so just what would the answer be? It's like it's 3 less than 5. 2, right? So are you guys starting with the 3 or starting with the 5? Starting with the 5 and then doing 3 less than that. Does that make sense? 3 less than 5, it means you have 5, 3 less than what you already have. So anytime you have the word than, that's going to kind of mean that things are going to flip around from the order that they're written in. So here, those are right off to the side.
You happen to have like an actual pencil that I can borrow?
Check the cup on my desk.
Okay.
So if you have more than or less than, then the order is going to be kind of flipped from what you would think, okay? So if we have 8 more than x, that's actually going to be x plus 8. Because you have to start with the x and then do 8 more than that. And then is y, what do you think is y would be? Yep, equals y. So for addition, it doesn't really make that big of a difference because x plus 8 and 8 plus x are going to be the same answer. For subtraction, it's not going to be the same answer, so that's why it's important, okay? So then here, 8 less than x would be what? X minus 8. Yep, you're starting with the x and doing 8 less than that, so x minus 8 is y?
Do you always start with that?
No, not always. So it's depends on what order it's in here. So anytime you have a less than or more than, it's just going to be like the reverse order of what you start with, okay? All right, go ahead and try the got it's. Okay, so for this one, W is, so how do I write W is? W equals. So you want to try to keep it in the same order that it's written in. Okay, so W is, W equals. 9 more than X would be what? X plus 9. Yep. Okay, and then Y is? Y equals. Yeah, 3 less than M would be M minus 3.
Doesn't Zam mean like flip though?
Yeah, so since it's 3 less than M, then M would go first.
Oh,
Yeah. All right, are we good on those? Cool. All right. Okay, next ones are going to deal with the words like by and from. So the word by is going to be normal.
We can't.
Okay, hold on, Victor. So the word by is going to be normal. The word from is going to be flipped. Because if you're taking something from something else, you have to start with the something else. Okay? So on the first one, B decreased by 7 is going to be B minus 7. It's being decreased by something. And then is 9? Equals 9. Yep. But
Hi. Yep. Okay, awesome. I'm on, but.
okay, so this one, B decreased from 7. So if you're decreasing something from something else, you're starting with the something else. So B decreased from 7 is going to be 7 minus B is 9 equals 9. You can't take something from something if you don't have the something, right? Does that make sense? Okay, go ahead and try the got it. No, the cafeteria. Okay, so for the first one, 6 decreased by X is going to be what? Yep, 6 minus X is W equals W.
Why is it 6
Because that's the order it's written in. Because it's 6 decreased by X. So you have to pay attention to like what order the original's in. Okay? It has nothing to do with like if it's a variable or if it's a number. It's always just whatever order it's in. 6 decreased from X. That means it's flipped because you have to start with what you're taking from. So what would that be? So 6 decreased from X. So I have to start with what I'm taking from. X minus 6. Yeah. Because so if it's 6 decreased from X, that means you have to start with the X because you're taking 6 away from it. Does that make sense? Is W equals W. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So these ones are kind of the same as like problem 1, the ones before this. We're just kind of adding in a little piece. So, 1 more than. So remember, than is flipped. So 1 more than is going to be something plus 1. Twice X. How do I write twice X? Yep, 2 times x, so 2x. So 1 more than twice x is going to be 2x plus 1. And then is y equals y.
So then is flipped?
Yeah.
So then if it says one more than twice.
X, then you have to start with the twice x and then do 1 more, so plus 1.
So you just put 2.
Well, 2x, yeah, you start with the 2x and then increase it by 1, so plus 1. Okay. All right, 5 less than, so we know that's something minus 5, right? 1/3 x, excuse me, 1/3 x is y equals y. Okay, then try the Goddard's. Okay, next one. So you guys should be trying the Goddess before we do them, okay? X is, so how do I do X is? X equals. 4 less than means something minus 4. And how do I write triple C? Yeah, 3C. Okay, and then N is, N equals 2 more than, so something plus 2. 2/3 V, just 2/3 V.
Does it matter which one you put?
Yes. So you want to try to put it in this like same order that it's given to in. So if the N is first, then you want to do the N equals first.
It says N is 2 more. So what are 2 going from the
So no, so the N is like its own piece. That's where it gets cut off. And then 2 more than 2/3 V is like one whole piece together. So though 2 more than 2/3 V means you're starting with the 2/3 V and then you're having to do 2 more than what you get. So you have to find what this equals and then do plus 2 after that. Does that kind of make sense? So you have to like have what you already have first before you can do 2 more. Just look for the word than. Anytime it's like the word than, that means that like that piece is coming second. Come. All right. Yeah.
If I put it as 2/3 v minus 2 equals 1, would that be marked wrong?
Yeah. Because 1 it's more than, so be happy addition.
So does the letters all go first?
No. It's whatever order it's written in, whatever's in each spot.
So the N would have to come first.
I don't know if Math Excel will mark it wrong, but yeah, so just try to do it in the same order, like wherever it is in the phrase. Okay, just go like left to right in order. All right, so now we're going to do ones where you're going to have words like, you'll have like times the either sum, quantity, difference, stuff like that. So sum is obviously going to be addition. Difference is going to be subtraction. If it just says quantity, then there's going to be something else in the problem telling you if it's addition or subtraction. Okay. What that means is that you have something being multiplied to parentheses. So something's going to go there and it's being multiplied to a set of parentheses. Either with, if it's times the sum, it'll be addition in the parentheses. So you'll either have addition or subtraction in the parentheses, depending on what the other words are. Okay? Okay, so on the first one, 2 times the sum. So 2 times the sum means 2 is being multiplied to something in parentheses being added. So of x and y, so that means it's going to be x plus y in here. Is z equals z. Can I go try the next one? Yep. So quantity is going to be the same thing times parentheses, but there's going to be some other word in the problem that tells you if it's plus or minus. Okay, so you have to find if it's addition or subtraction in somewhere else in there. Okay, so this one, -4 times the quantity is just going to mean -4 being multiplied to a set of parentheses. But we don't know what's in the parentheses, like the sign, yet. Okay? So then it says the quantity of x minus y, so it's going to be x minus y, equals 3, equals 3. Make sense? Okay. So these next ones have some different options of ways that you could interpret them. Okay, I'm not going to color code these ones because like it doesn't translate exactly. You kind of have to just understand what it's saying, and then there's lots of different options for the answer. Okay. So for problem 5, half of the sum of x and 3 is 11. So my initial thing would be to do the sum of x plus 3. Do half of it is 11 equals 11. That's like what I would probably do. You could also do half of the sum of x and 3, like this, is 11 equals 11. You could even do like x plus 3 in parentheses and then like the actual division sign by 2, but we probably want to stay away from that. Okay, so one of these two would be what I would do. And you don't need parentheses on this one because remember a big fraction like that, it has implied parentheses. If you wanted to put parentheses around it, you could, but with order of operations, that part's already grouped together. Okay. All right, next one. Go ahead and try the next one. Like put what you think it would be. Drink water, yeah. Sorry. So this one would probably be the main one that I would go to actually for this one. And then I'll give you different options for the other one and tell you which like main one I would do.
So would we do 1/3?
You could.
So we don't even find the problem, we just
Yeah, so you're just setting up. Yeah, yes. So this is just about basically we're trying to get the skill of in setting up an equation for a situation, like turning words into an equation that you could solve. But you guys already know how to solve it, so. Okay, ready? So it's the quantity x minus 5 divided by 3 is equal to -6. So the one that would probably be like the better one would be x minus 5 divided by 3 equals -6. You could also do like 1/3 times x minus 5 equals -6. That would work. You could also even do x minus 5 divided by 3 equals -6. But you'd have to have the x minus 5 in parentheses to keep like the quantity. Okay? So all of those would work, but I would probably like lean towards that one. Okay? Any questions? Cool. All right, let's move on. All right, so these ones are just going to be like bigger ones of what we've already done. So if 8 less than a number is the same as twice the number minus 11. Okay, so 8 less than is going to be flipped, right? So we know it's going to be something minus 8. So 8 less than a number, we can just keep all that together. So what do you want to do for the number? What variable? X, sure. So x minus 8. 8 less than a number is going to be x minus 8. And then is the same as, what's that going to be? Equals. Twice the number minus 11. So twice the number is going to be 2x. And minus 11, just minus 11. Got it? This one's actually a backwards one too, but we haven't talked about it yet. So this word, let's make it on the opposite side. Added to is also going to be flipped because you have to start with the something that you're adding to. So 3 times the number added to 1 means you're starting with the 1 and then having to add to that, okay? So if I have 3 times the number and then added to 1. So that means you're going to do 1 plus, what's 3 times the number? 3x, yep.
Can't you start with 3x?
Because if you're adding something to something else, you have to start with something else. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. Is equal to? Equals? The number subtracted from 22. So we have that word from. So if I'm subtracting something from 22, am I starting with the something or starting with the 22?
You're starting with 22.
Starting with the 22. So you have 22 minus the number, so minus x. All right, good?
Wouldn't the number be 3x though? Because it also says a number earlier in the problem.
So 3 times the number would be the 3x. But then if it's just the number, it's just x. Make sense? Okay. All right, so now we have like story problems that we're trying to set up equations for, okay? And then, so these ones are going to be like less aggressive with like the order mattering. As long as you have all the right pieces where they're supposed to go, then you're good, because it's not going to be as it's just going to be more descriptive, okay? So you can estimate the temperature by counting the number of chirps of the snowy tree cricket. The outdoor temperature is about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, more than 1/4 the number of chirps the cricket makes in 1 minute. What is a function rule that represents this situation? So I'm going to highlight like what piece is telling us like the pieces of the equation. So the outdoor temperature is about 40 degrees more than 1/4 the number of chirps it makes in a minute. So we need two variables. We need temperature, and then we need the number of chirps. All right, so the outdoor temperature is, so I'm going to use a capital T. So temperature equals.
Because then people figure out if I just get this one cricket and then I get this 1/4 many times as a chirp.
It is crazy how they just figure out like a pattern in the numbers. All right, so 40 more than 1/4 the number of chirps it makes in a minute. So I'm going to use a lowercase c for chirps, okay? So you're going to do 1/4 the number of chirps, and then 40 more than that. So how would I do 40 more than that?
Times 40.
That's 40. Yeah. All right, a landfill has 50,000. Oh, you guys do that one real quick. Remember, the order is not super. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, a landfill has 50,000 tons of waste in it. Each month, it accumulates an average of 420 more tons of waste. What is a function rule that represents the total amount of waste after m months? So I'm going to use W for waste. So waste equals, so how much do I already have starting with?
50,000.
Yeah, 50,000. And I'm adding to it, right? And it's 420 every month. So how would I put that? Yeah, 420 m. The idea with this is we're trying to get you guys to be able to know that the 420 is the one that's going to have the variable with it. That's the repeating one, and then the 50,000 is just like a one-time thing, okay? Because you're going to need that skill when we do like y equals mx plus b. All right, you are making plans for concert seating at a venue you own. Reserved seating is sold out, and that's a total of $3,000. General seating costs $10 per ticket. What equation represents your total revenue R? So our revenue R equals, so what do we already have? Yep, 3,000. And we're adding to it, right? And it's $10 per ticket. So I'm just gonna do 10 T. Yeah.
For problem 7, sorry, I wasn't here. You can, instead of putting C after 1/4, just replace 1 with a C, right?
Huh?
You can just do C over 4 instead of.
Yeah, sure.
1/4.
Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
just making
Mhm.
sure, sorry.
You're good. All right, and then go ahead and do the got it, and the got it has some follow-up questions too for you to answer. Some thinking ones. All right, are we ready? Yeah? Okay. All right, a kennel charges $15 per day to board dogs. Upon arrival, each dog must have a flea bath that costs $12. Write an equation for the total cost for n days of dog boarding plus a bath. Okay, so for cost, I'm just going to use C. So cost equals, so what do you have to pay no matter what when you get there? $12, right? 12 plus, and then it's $15 per day, and it's n days, so 15n. And the order is like flexible on that.
Wait, what'd you
Okay.
get the-
It says total cost for n days.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Okay, how much does a 10-day stay cost? So 12 plus 15 times 10. So how much is that? Yep, $162. And then is the 5-day stay half as much as a 10-day stay? Why or why not? No. Why?
Wait, I thought it was.
Yeah, so let's find what a 5-day stay would be. 12 plus 15 times 5 would be 50, 75, 87, yeah. Is 87 half of 162?
No.
No.
Well, yeah. Well, 87.
174, did 87.
No. Hear me out.
Mhm.
So you get the 5-day stay, which is $87, plus another $5 or 5-day stay.
Mhm.
But with that, you don't have to pay for the flea bath thing.
See, that's the key right there. Is the bath.
Yes.
So these are two separate people we're talking about. So one person coming in for 10 days, one person coming in for 5 days. Does that make sense? So in that case, because of what you just said, because of the flea bath, it's not going to be exactly half. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you add the 75, which is not with the flea bath, to add on top of it.
Yeah. So if you were to like go for 5 days and then just add on an additional 5 days, then it would be
Well, then I got that wrong.
You didn't get it wrong. You just like yes, you got the concept you were supposed to get. Yep. So no, because the bath still costs $12 basically. Okay, no matter how many days. Good. Moving on. All right, one last question. All right, some friends spent a total of $12 on popcorn and drinks at the movie theater. A bucket of popcorn costs $2 and a drink costs $1.50. Create an equation to represent the relationship between the number of buckets of popcorn X and the number of drinks Y the friends bought for $12. So let's do, so a bucket of popcorn is $2 and buckets of popcorn is X. So how would I write that? 2X, yep. Okay, and then drinks is $1.50 and drinks is Y. So how do I write that? Yep, so $1.50 Y. And the total is $12, so you do equals 12. Make sense?
Was this supposed to be at one point on the computer?
So it's like the PDF of like the online test, yeah. Okay, so then it says the friends bought 4 drinks. How many buckets of popcorn did they buy? So we have 2X plus $1.50 Y equals 12. So where am I putting in the 4? For Y. So 2X plus $1.50 times 4 equals 12. So what's 1.5 times 4? 6? Yeah. Okay, and then how would I solve that? Yep, subtract 6 first. 2x equals 6, and then divide, so what do I get? Yep, 3. Yep, so our answer is 3. Perfect. So it's $2 for every bucket of popcorn, so that's why it's 2x. And then it's $1.50 for every drink, so that's why it's like $1.50 times y. So if it's $2 for every bucket of popcorn, and I did like 5 buckets of popcorn, you do 2 times 5, right? Like $2 for every bucket, and it's 5 buckets. Yeah, so that's why you do like multiplying by however many. Okay. So anytime that it's like it tells you how much it is per something, it's always gonna be like multiplication. Okay. All right. So then for the lesson check, you're basically just setting up an equation for each of these. You don't have to solve it. Just set it up. All right.
Wait, do we write the problem?
You don't have to. That's such a pretty Y. Number 2. Okay, so do 1/3 of a number. So just do that part first. So pick a variable. Okay, so then 1/3 of that, just do the 1/3 with the x after it. And then is the same as, what's come after? Equals, 2 more than, so you know it's something plus 2. And then you have to do a number multiplied by -1. Like what's the easiest way to write a number times -1? So that one, the order doesn't really matter. You can just do it, show multiplication somehow between like the x and -1. Okay. This is like, this stuff is kind of one of those things where it's like you get it right, but you don't really know how. Yeah. So 2 more than means it's going to be the something plus 2 after. Are you guys ready for answers? Okay. So number 1, you should have b minus 5 equals 9. Has to be b minus 5 because it's decreased from. Okay. Number 2, I put 1/3 x equals -1x plus 2. This multiplication, you could do like, I don't know. It's just easier to put the number in front of the x when it's multiplication. Okay. And then number 3 is good. The order is going to be a little bit more flexible because it's like a story problem. So I did 1150x plus 50 equals 349. Good? Any questions?